KUAM News headlines are presented by Calvo's Insurance, protecting Micronesia for 85 years. Matson and the Adai Itano program. Apply at matson.com and McDonald's of Guam. I'm loving it.
Ahead on KUAM News Primetime.
The Department of Public Health and Social Services looks to be moving 2 out of its 7 divisions here at Park Place in Tamuning. I'm Don Sulat, and stay tuned for the full details coming up.
A man who spent decades serving his family, his country, and his community was honored on Monday. I'm Nevaeh Anderson with more on the life and legacy of former Manilao Mayor Nonito Blas.
And this week marks Emergency Medical Services Week, a time dedicated to honoring EMTs, paramedics, dispatchers, and first responders for the work they do every day. I'm Janice Carrasco with more from the proclamation ceremony.
Good evening and half a day, everybody. I'm Jason Salas. This is Primetime, and these are your stories on this Tuesday evening. Well, senators began their 8th special session this morning to consider Bill 314, introduced by the Lieutenant Governor and aimed at moving forward with the construction of a new Sanchez High. The bill would authorize DPW to proceed with the awarding and performance of the school's construction contract despite pending procurement protests or appeals, while still preserving lawful protest rights and available judicial remedies. During session, senators resolved into Committee of the Whole, hearing from officials from across GovGuam, with members of the project's negotiating teams and representatives from Sanchez. However, debate on the bill was delayed following reports from another local media outlet releasing audio recordings of procurement negotiations between Public Works and Cortec. Recordings from 5 of the 6 negotiating meetings were made public, capturing discussions between Cortec officials and GovGuam representatives over the draft contract to build a new campus. During this morning's session, Senator Chris Barnett moved for transcripts of the recordings to be printed and distributed to senators and those present, saying lawmakers should have full transparency into the negotiations as they consider the bill. The special session was then placed into recess, allowing senators time to review the transcripts before reconvening later in the afternoon. As discussions continue, we will have more on the special session and future of the home of the Sharks, so make sure to check us out on our social media channels. We're at KUM News across all platforms. Well, we take a look now into the largest agency in your government, into the government of Guam, as the Department of Public Health and Social Services prepares 3 out of its 7 divisions to move into new locations. KUM's Don Sulat has the latest.
With over 500 employees and several satellite, or as Department of Public Health and Social Services Director Teresa Arreola calls them, silo locations, the government of Guam's largest line agency looks to be moving their largest division, the Division of Public Health, and the Division of General Administration into a new location in Tamuning at Park Place. Meanwhile, the Division of Public Welfare, which is in charge of many of the island's public benefits, such as SNAP, formerly known as Food Stamp, Medicaid, and MIP, to name a few, will be relocating from its different locations, such as the Rancare building in Tamuning, to the Castle Mall in Manilao by the end of this summer as well, with Director Arreola telling KUAM.
Those awards are out. They're public record. We are just waiting for the landlords or the vendors to finish their renovation, and then we'll move in.
Director Arreola has been vocal several times in the past about how the department has never had a permanent home to house all of its divisions in its entirety.
No matter where we're at, whether in the past in Manilao Central or the centralized, where the director's office now in Hessler in Agana, we are never together. And it's important that we try to put as many programs and services together so that the automatic silos that come up are dismantled.
Director Arreola told KUAM that an invitation for bid, or IFB, was sent out in 2025 to respond to the department for their need for a consolidated place.
Unfortunately, not all the vendors responded to certain divisions. So what we can look forward to this year, probably before the end of summer, is that the Division of Public Health, which is the largest division, which is great, and the Division of General Administration, where the director's office sits, will be together in our Tamuning.
Director Arreola also told KUAM that the bid was awarded to Park Place following quote-unquote necessary delays, such as an opportunity for procurement appeals to occur.
We look forward to it. It was awarded in February of this year after again going through all the GSA requirements and procurement for an IFB. And so we look forward to that because I think when many, if not all, we can't have all divisions of the department come together, then at least the largest divisions will predominantly be together with the director's office, and we'll have better collaboration.
For Guam's News Network, I'm Don Sulet.
And elsewhere on island, after nearly 3 decades as mayor of Mangilao, Nonito Blas left a lasting mark on his village and our island. And this week, those who knew him best reflected on the life, legacy, and values that he leaves behind. Nevaeh Anderson has a look at his remarkable life.
Nonito Blas, who served as mayor of Mangilao for 7 terms, totaling 28 years, has passed away. He was 89 years old. On Monday at his state funeral, held at the Guam Congress Building, family, friends, and colleagues came together to celebrate and honor a life of service. Born on June 25, 1936, he was raised in Asin as the eldest of 17 children, guided by the values of faith, family, unity, respect for elders, compassion for others, and service to the community. Blas later made the difficult decision to leave school after the 9th grade in order to enter the workforce to help support his family and care for his siblings. Presenting resolution number 187-38 in his honor, Senator Sabrina Salas Matanani.
His willingness to sacrifice his own educational pursuits for the well-being of his family reflected his deep sense of responsibility and commitment to those he loved.
In 1957, Blas enlisted in the United States Navy, where he served his country for 24 years in the Vietnam War. And in 1963, Blas married Marcella Doring Blas, starting a family of their own and continuing to instill the principles of integrity, humility, compassion, hard work, and dedication to community. Following his retirement from military service in 1980, Blas joined the Small Business Administration to assist our island's entrepreneurs in establishing and growing their businesses while supporting economic recovery efforts through disaster loan programs. He later worked in the Superior Court of Guam's Alternative Sentencing Program. Then in 1987, Governor Joseph Ada appointed him as commissioner, later renamed as mayor, of the village of Mangilao. Each election cycle that followed since, he was re-elected until he announced his retirement from public office 10 years ago. Former Governor of Guam, Carl Gutierrez, delivered the eulogy, recalling their time as children working a newspaper route together to provide for their families.
I was proud, and I was very, very proud to tell everybody in the world I see that my very first job was all thanks to Nonito Blas. And I have never forgotten the opportunity he gave me.
Gutierrez also reflected on the type of leader Blas was. Humble, hardworking, sleeves rolled up, building whatever his community needed with his own 2 hands.
He believed that leadership meant being on the scene. Nonito never made excuses, and until the day he retired, he never rested. Just get her done, and that he did. From his youth to his twilight years, Nonito never abandoned that core mindset of our generation, which was to carry out what was expected of him by his family and by those who depended on him. So today, we honor a life lived in service, laughter, and love. Mangilao is forever shaped by his hands and his heart.
Through decades of public service, Nonito Blas became more than a mayor to many in Mangilao. He became a constant presence, a helping hand, and a leader who believed in showing up for his community. His legacy now lives on in his family, in the village he helped shape, and in the generations of people he served along the way. Nevaeh Anderson, KUAM News.
Stay tuned, we're back after this.
This Memorial Day, save big at Kmart. Upgrade your home with incredible deals on home appliances, including full-size refrigerators from brands like Hisense and Wizard, starting at just $4.99. Refresh every room with stylish, affordable furniture made for comfort and everyday living. And get the sleep you've been dreaming of with the new Eon Home Mattress Collection. All in stock and ready to take home today. Don't wait. Shop these Memorial Day savings now at Kmart.
Let's go to Grandma's.
Oh man.
The only thing slower than her internet is her stories.
Yeah, last time my video loaded, I aged 1 year. Is that? No way. Woo! Awesome.
Grandma, your internet slaps.
Sign up for GTA Fiber today and get grandkid approved internet for as low as $75 a month.
Hey, let's go.
Oh man.
I grew up on Guam. Sports shaped who I am, but representing our island on the national basketball team taught me the importance of community. After 10 years in Hawaii, working at Bank of Hawaii, I came home to give back and to lead. At Bank of Hawaii, we're passionate about helping everyone in our community create a better life for themselves and their families to reach their possible. I'm Mike Sakazaki, and I can't wait to help you reach yours.
Anything's possible.
Reach your possible with Bank of Hawaii.
Well, this week marks Emergency Medical Services Week, a time dedicated to honor our EMTs, paramedics, dispatchers, and first responders for the work that they do each and every day. Janice Carrasco has this next report.
When emergencies happen, they are often the first faces people see in their most critical moments. This week, emergency medical services professionals are being recognized for their commitment to saving lives and serving their community. Deputy Director of Public Health highlights the importance of this week and also shares the theme.
But today, we recognize the leading edge of public health, the emergency medical services. This year's theme, EMS, Improving Outcomes Together, resonates deeply within our mission at Public Health. I offer that the EMS is not a siloed service. It is a critical pillar of our healthcare infrastructure. Whether it is a cardiac event, a traumatic injury, or transport of our most vulnerable citizens during a crisis, the quality of care provided in those first few minutes, the golden hour, dictates the long-term health outcomes for our people. You are the embodiment of public health in action. As we sign this proclamation, we are committing ourselves to support these men and women, not just with words, but with the resources, the training, and the recognition that they deserve. To our EMTs, paramedics, and dispatchers, you are the hands and feet of our healthcare system. On behalf of the Department of Public Health and Social Services, thank you for your bravery, your professionalism, your dedication, and your service to saving lives.
The acting HPLO administrator, Brianna Sablon, gives her perspective of the importance of Emergency Medical Services Week and the lives touched by EMS every day.
We gather here today to formally recognize a group of individuals to operate at the very intersection of crisis and hope. As we approach National EMS Week, scheduled for May 17th through the 23rd, this proclamation serves as more than just a formal document. It is a testament to the dedication, resilience, and the heart of our first responders. This year's theme, Improving Outcomes Together, perfectly captures the reality of our mission. When we work together, we don't just respond to emergencies, we change the trajectory of lives. To our EMS professionals, thank you for your courage, thank you for your sacrifice, and thank you for your unwavering commitment to improving outcomes together.
Today's proclamation signing serves as a reminder of the critical role emergency medical services professionals play in our island community every single day. From emergency response teams to paramedics, EMTs, dispatchers, and healthcare partners, this week is dedicated to recognizing their commitment, sacrifice, and life-saving care. Thank you for all continuing to answer the call, especially during moments when our community needs them the most. Janice Carrasco, KUAM News.
And who doesn't love a good spin-off? And fans of Yellowstone are going to enjoy a new show that's on Paramount+.
Just waking up to the mountains. Beth Dutton and Rip Wheeler are not in Montana anymore.
Welcome to Texas, honey.
Kelly Riley and Cole Hauser are reprising their roles as the fan favorite on-screen couple in the newest Yellowstone spin-off, Dutton Ranch.
Here I am, you know, we're just almost 10 years later and I'm still mining her and I'm trying to, things I'm learning about her. So it's an evolving, living, breathing thing, and it really is such a true, like I said, honor to play her.
After a fire destroys their Montana ranch, the couple is forced to start over in South Texas, where they face challenges from a ruthless rival ranch.
They're no longer running the biggest ranch in the world. You know, they're now having to kind of find their way. And I think, I hope that we've done a good job of you know, giving them the opportunity to kind of come from the ashes, literally.
Academy Award nominee Annette Bening joins the cast as the Grizzly and Gucci, Beulah Jackson.
I don't think she's a villain at all. I think she's just a woman who's trying to do the best she can with the resources she has, and she's made a few mistakes.
Here at the fiery black carpet premiere, the cast told me what it was like going through creator Taylor Sheridan's Cowboy Boot Camp to prepare for filming.
And I was the only girl that did it, so it was me and a bunch of boys, and they all felt like my big brothers. If I did something, everybody would just start clapping and going crazy, so it was so supportive and so sweet.
Every day up at 7 a.m. out on the horse till noon, and just for like a month in the hot heat of Texas.
They also teased what's to come this season.
Expect the unexpected.
You better have your hat on low, and you better have something to drink, and you better have something that shoots.
For Beth and Rip, as they say, everything might just be bigger in Texas. Julianne Ferreira, CBS News, New York.
Now for a look at your world at home.
Agana Heights is a beautiful spot on the island where you can see the entire bay, and here's a beautiful look from the I Heart Agana Heights sign.
Don't need a work break, keep the smile on your face. The moments you can't replay, and I'll be around. Whoa, you can count on me. You can count on me for life.
Wherever life takes you, we're always here for you. Calvo's Insurance. Count on us for life.
Now it pays to spread the Better Together experience. With our brand new referral program, you can earn up to $150 in account credits for every referral you bring in. That's right, family, neighbors, friends, even your coworkers. Just pass them your account name and account number. When they sign up for Docomo Pacific service and drop your info, cha-ching! Credit applied. So spread the word and start stacking those savings. Additional conditions may apply. Docomo Pacific, we're better together.
Tonight's sports feature is brought to you by Cars Plus.
Half a day, everybody. I'm Jason Salas at the Guam National Tennis Training Center with Torgan Smith here. We are at the 2026 Citadel Guam Junior Championships. And Torgan, there has been some incredible competition by some truly, truly gifted athletes here.
Yeah, we have some real highly ranked players from mostly Asia, and our player Kevin from Guam made the quarterfinals. So excellent. It's been a good week. It's a new format now where we have a round robin for the first 4 days, and then the winners of the round robin go on to the quarterfinals. So.
Oh, very nice. So everyone literally does get to play like everybody else. And yeah. Excellent. That's the way basketball's been doing it. Volleyball's been doing it. Good to see that in tennis.
Yeah.
How many different countries are represented here?
I think there's 8 countries. Mm-hmm. I believe 8 countries, yeah, from between the boys and the girls.
Oh, okay. How many athletes total?
There's about 70 here for the boys and girls. This week, the Citadel, we have 2 weeks of juniors, and so they come, and we have boys and girls. Where the Kings event, the Kings Pro Circuit Tour is June 1st, and we'll have just the men for that one. But these first 2 weeks we have boys and girls, and so it's very, very busy. All the courts are full for the every day.
Okay, what have the visitors been saying about, about the quality of the facilities and just like the conditions too? Because I mean, here we are like 1 in the afternoon, great playing conditions, right? A little bit of windy, there might be like a couple drops of rain and everything like that, but hot, not too much breeze, perfect weather for tennis.
Yeah, perfect weather for tennis unless you're out there for over 2 hours.
There you go.
So we've had
so play hard and get it done in the first set.
Hydrate.
There you go.
We've had some cramping issues and things like that, but yeah, it's good. Don't really want to mention the R word, but we've had good weather. We've been lucky, and it's been a good week. And we start the next tournament on Monday. Mm-hmm. So transition from the finals Sunday into the next week, which is mostly the same players. We do have some more players coming in next week. We don't have any Philippine players represented this week, but next week we have some Philippine girls coming to play. So that's another country that will be added to the list.
Yeah, and we say this all the time. Come up to Harmon Loop Road and come check it out because attendance is free. The spectator experience is absolutely amazing. Have a seat on the upper deck. You can watch as many as 6 matches at the same time. What tends to be, Torgan, the most spectator-friendly sport, like the singles, doubles, the males or the females?
Yeah, it's I think it's the time of day. All the matches are world-class quality. So people come out and watch during their lunch hour. It's on during the day and the weekdays. So people come and watch lunch hour. But the singles, the doubles, it doesn't matter. It's all going on at the same time. We have mostly singles in the first 3 days, and then the double starts later in the week. But yeah, it's all like you said. It's good, high quality tennis.
All right.
World class.
Drinks aren't new at McDonald's. Coffee? Until they are. All new drinks are here.
Memorial Day is a time to honor those who ensure our freedoms. It's also a time to hit the road, gather with family, and celebrate the American spirit. During the Declaration of Deals, drive a truck built with the strength, capability, and confidence America depends on. Get into a Ram 1500 with up to $4,000 cash allowance. And every Ram has a 10-year, 100,000-mile powertrain limited warranty. Or get into a Jeep Wrangler with up to $2,500 cash allowance. Visit Cars Plus Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram today.
Happy day, everyone, and welcome to the Spark Report. I'm Bea Antonio, the valedictorian from the Academy of Our Lady of Guam, and I graduated alongside my 63 Sisters for Life last Friday. It was an amazing experience and admittedly a little nerve-wracking. So to help those others in the class of 2026 across all schools who will walk in their own ceremony soon, as well as the incoming seniors around Guam, we sat for one last final project, reflecting on how we survived our senior years and what we learned about ourselves in the process.
I think for me, this year, but also the past 4 years, the one thing that I learned is to never take for granted the support that you have. The amount of opportunities I've been given and the amount of leadership positions I've been in, I wouldn't have been able to fulfill them without such a great support system and like emotional support and physical support. I'm so grateful to everyone in my life, both teachers, family, and friends that have really been a part of my journey. And I think that's the one thing I will take from this year and move forever in my life. Yes.
All right. Well, here's Dano. Hi, Dano. Another FD graduated like a month ago and everything. But Dano, congratulations to you and the Brotherhood over there.
Hey, Jason. Thank you.
All right. Okay, so since you just jumped in and everything, ladies first and everything. So Robin, you're up next. What did your senior year teach you about yourself?
Well, for me, it was mostly putting myself where I really wanted to be. I did leave things I was a part of in junior year to make more time for, NHS and being a part of those bigger officer positions. But I would say I don't regret any of it, and that I still really enjoyed my year and spending time with the underclassmen and just making memories with my friends.
Very nice. Okay, and then Bea, you're involved in like a whole bunch of different school organizations. You know, I've covered you as, you know, as a member of the three-peat Academy Cougars softball team, you know, at NHS when you guys were doing the community service for Special Olympics and everything like that. That's really character building. And of course, you know, that's something you're really going to take into college. So, but what did you learn about yourself?
I think definitely it's very important to be resilient and accepting to change. This year, I kind of had a plan of how I wanted things to go, but of course, there's circumstances that we can't control. But the most important thing is just to stay true to yourself and who you are as a person. And even when you get busy with academics and all these extracurriculars, just knowing who you are and what you value is gonna help you get through it all.
So Dano, how was this year? Because I saw you at a bunch of FD events, you know, running around, making content, you know, like you were involved in your school's, you know, culinary program for Giving Tuesday. You guys help give to Sanctuary and everything like that. You had a busy year, man.
Yeah, this year was pretty like all over the place with having to be with NHS and then also just being a part of school events, setting it up for them. And I think what I learned the most was just be as involved as you can in a lot of things. So because, you know, if you don't do it, then nothing happens. But if you do it, at least something happened, right?
And that's it for the Spark Report. Congratulations to the class of 2026. Goodbye.
News Bites is brought to you by Docomo Pacific Better Together, Fresco Clothing, original custom design apparel of Guam and the Marianas.
Okay, everybody, move fast and make sure to register for the 2K, 5K Run Walk for Autism because tickets are going really fast, registration's going fast, and people that are going there are going to be moving very, very quickly. But the one thing that does not deviate at all is our support for families on Guam with autism. We'll see you down there on the 24th. All right, theater camp. When the word theater is spelled that way, you know it's legit, right? It's a European thing, right? It's old school. But one thing that is also European, Dr. Seuss, right? These are timeless tales told in a very, very entertaining way, and you are going to learn how to take the skills of the theater and apply it to Dr. Seuss. It's a 4-H enrichment camp. Good work here over the summer. And then Project U, right? Speaking of reaching out and impacting the lives of young people, GPD is getting it done, so make sure to register. If you would like service learning, this is a great way to earn those hours, you guys, boys and girls. Please get involved, impact the lives of young people, tell them to make great choices, and teach them how to do wonderful things in our community. That is your News Bites here on a Tuesday evening. Here are your birthday shout-outs right now.
If your name happens to be Betty Rose Simpson, happy birthday to you, and your shout-out says, we're wishing you the happiest, brightest, most magical birthday ever. We love and appreciate you more than words can say, and we're sending you endless love, hugs, laughter, and love from all your aunties, uncles, cousins, grandparents, and friends. Mahana Vega Fria, happy 19th birthday to you, and from the day you came into the world, you brought joy and laughter into our lives. As a young adult, we see how you display the values we instill in you. Keep making us proud. We love you so very much, and we hope to make special memories with you today on your golden birthday from Mom, Dad, and the whole familia. And Lani Morales, happy birthday, Sissy. Sorry you had to spend 2 years without me, but you're welcome. From your best nephew, Major, and your husband, Mitchell. Hey. Want to wish your special someone a happy birthday? Just click the QR code here on your screen or email birthdayclub@KUAM.com.
That's your Tuesday news. We'll see you tomorrow night. Thanks for watching Health, Home, and Lifestyle right here on KUAM. Check us out anytime on our YouTube channel, youtube.com/KUAM News, for all of our episodes about how you can live a happy and healthy island life. Hafaday Guam, and welcome to another episode of Health, Home, and Lifestyle. I'm here today at the Guam Museum where they have this wonderful exhibit about self-determination, a long-standing issue on our island, the right to choose. And come down here, you will be inspired, you'll be educated about the history behind this very, very landmark decision that has yet to be made. It still continues to be argued, but very important to our people. And because this is a show where we give you information education, and context about how to live a happy, educated, and healthy island life. Here's what we got for you this week. It must be Tuesday if I am hanging out with two of my favorite ladies in the world and one of our favorite policymakers right here. So we have Liz and Gina down at Remax Diamond Realty, and we have the very honorable Senator Chris Duenas. And every time the four of us get together, we're talking about the state of the Guam housing market. We're talking about the environment of real estate. And very often we talk about how this affects public policy and maybe some controversies and everything. So Senator, we always appreciate your time. We understand these days there's not a lot of it. So we are greatly appreciative of that, what you can give us.
Oh, we're glad to be here, Jason, and always glad to be here with the real estate folks, particularly these two fine ladies. So I'm appreciating this opportunity this morning.
Yeah, especially when it's graduation season, because these two are grandmas and they got a lot going on in their families. So ladies, I mean, you're wearing smiles right now, but that does kind of belie a big concern you guys have about an issue that we've been talking about on this show for many, many months.
Right. We feel that when the nitrate system law came into effect, that it would spur more housing activity for people to build their homes in the northern area. However, what we're finding is, I think in our last conversation with David Damian, that they were only able to approve about 10 permits under the nitrate system, and then it stopped. Because they were still working on the rules and regulations. And that's where we are right now, right, Senator? Where we can't move forward until those, according to EPA, we can't move forward until those rules and regulations are passed.
Yeah, Jason. So when we introduced when the bill became law that allows now for the type 4 nitrate reduction system over our northern waterlands. The issue, of course, the bill passed and signed into law. And one nice thing is the law allowed for a 1-year period to which EPA could be approving the system. But then as they promulgated the rules and regs, which was supposed to be done in a year as prescribed by the law, now we're going into about 2 years by the time it will go into effect. So we call them the lucky 10 individuals that were able to get approved within the 1-year time frame while the bill became law. And we were hoping to have the rules and regs, but they were just transmitted on the same day that I sent a letter to EPA asking for the status. And so now that I will be conducting a public hearing on the 29th, I believe at 8:15 in the morning, to be able to publicly hear the rules at the legislature, and then we can either adopt through a session, or we can allow it to lapse into law over 90 days, or we could debate it on the floor. So really, probably to the folks out there that are waiting on this system to be able to build their homes, probably 3 months away, and God willing.
Okay, Gina, do you think that the 10 that the senator was referencing, those 10 families or 10 landowners that were able to get those approval, did they, I mean, legitimately so, but did they kind of like slip through the cracks, or the exceptions to the rule, or did they just, for whatever reason?
No, Jason, they followed the law. The law was very specific.
Okay.
In the law that was passed, it said that during that 1-year period, EPA was allowed to approve this new system, a nitrate reducing system. And the thing that I want to point out, when we were researching, when we saw this issue come up, and John Duenas, Liz's husband, and our broker was instrumental in helping us find a system that we thought would work for Guam. And this system in particular is out of Japan. And when we were researching it with John's guidance, I actually called several people that I knew that were in the construction and development phase. And what they told me about this system, I have a friend, a customer who lives in Texas. He moved over there. He's had built on Guam for many, many years. And then during COVID, he moved to Texas. And he actually has a farm there. He uses this exact same system on his farm. And the reason he is using it is because he's using the water from his septic system to irrigate his farmland. It is that clean. And if you go on the websites and you study this particular system that it's called a Fujitec system, and we're not saying you have to use that particular brand, but that brand is available on Guam already, and it has been available. Some of the people that have that system here on Guam actually put it into use more than 10 years ago, and WERI, the agency that oversees the testing of these systems, has actually been instrumental in testing this particular system. And what it does for the island, yes, we want people to be able to have options to build, but this particular system is fantastic for the environment. According to people in Japan, they use this system, and the water out of this system goes into their rivers and streams. It is that clean. And so for EPA, who has been concerned, and rightly so, about contamination from the septic tanks, they say it's from the septic tanks up north. It could also be from very, very old sewer lines up north that need to be updated. I would think that they want to get on board and get this particular system passed. I mean, it's already passed, but get the rules out there. Promote it with people who come in. It doesn't just have to be used in the northern area. It could be used anywhere if the idea is we're trying to protect our island and our environment. So I'm shocked that they didn't go out of their way to get the rules and regs out into the public and into use quicker than 12 months. And now it's been 2 years. And I'm wondering why, if the goal is to protect our environment.
Well, now that the senator's got a public hearing date of May 29th, I'm sure that the two of you and many of your colleagues are going to show up to that. Senator, I'd like to ask you something about your press release, because it's so beautifully closed at the end, and it says, public health, environmental protection, and housing must move together. That's very, very interesting. And from the seat you sit in, Senator, you're taking a 50,000-foot look at, this issue and everything. But public health, environmental protection, and housing, the private sector, that's a tall order to fill. Like, how do you actually synergize like those three concerns and make sure that hopefully this now gets put into action and, like gets directly into the pipeline, bad choice of words on my part, for our community?
Well, thanks, Jason. And I got some really good news, and I want to share. So I think that there's been a change of heart on this issue. I know that the current chief engineer is very familiar with these systems and actually supports them. He actually hails from living in the Pacific Northwest for a long time, but he is a local Chamorro. And so I've had extensive conversations with him, and he completely understands this. Also, I have to verify, but it was a good source that told me, I believe that EPA finally wanted to get a firsthand look on this system and sent 2 of their staff to Japan to review and see the actual FujiClean system in action. And my understanding was they saw the product of the system on the other end of it coming out that was actually being placed into the rivers and streams, and to see how safe and how clean the system is. So I think we've turned a corner here. And so to answer your question, the bottom line is that none of us from the beginning, starting with John Duenas, Liz, Gina, none of us ever wanted to compromise our environment. We never wanted to fast track anything that would harm. In fact, the whole premise of doing this when they started this over 10 years ago was the issue that we had to stop what's currently happening with current septic systems that by the hundreds or probably thousands have been approved in this time, when we could have had this system in place that now I think EPA has a full understanding of its efficacy that's been being used worldwide for over 40 years. So my discussion there is that, listen, let's work together. When we actually put facts on the table, when we actually learn about systems that can actually help us, this working together and the synergy of protecting our environment while making sure that we can help our people and the economic benefits and the benefits to the dream of home ownership and to making families be able to realize the use and highest use of their property. That's the magic that needs to happen. And it only happens when we all sit down at the table and look for solution.
From sauce to dust to nuggets, Diablo dusted crispy chicken nuggets. No, they don't come in mild. That would make like 0 sense with the name. Or the whole explosion thing we just did. New Diablo dusted crispy chicken nuggets. A brand new classic. Only at Taco Bell.
Everyone has goals. Saying yes helps you get there.
Retirement, huh?
Yes. When is it your turn?
I'm working on it.
And well deserved.
Could I be a truck guy?
Oh yeah, we totally see truck guy.
Can we really do that right now?
Yeah, wild, right?
Can we start that college fund?
Yes. Because yes is so much more than the answer to a question. First Hawaiian Bank. It all starts with yes.
Certainly, it's something that's going to be great for Guam. The homeowners now that are using it are ecstatic. They're very happy, first of all, that they were able to build their home, and the system is operating nicely. As Liz said, the Fuji Clean system, I actually had lunch with them. 2 representatives came to Guam, and they went and they inspected the system that is over 10 years old now. They were amazed at some of the components that have not been replaced. There is a fan motor in this system, and I was sitting at the table with the engineer and the other representative who's kind of on the sales and operational side, and they could not believe that that fan motor was still in operation. In most other jurisdictions, they've changed them out probably 6 or 7 years. And so the system is safe and great for Guam, and a really nice opportunity in the future. Another thing, I won't use his name, but a high official in the Superior Court, our Supreme Court, actually in a recent get-together, said, "Chris, please hurry up. My son is building a house and he needs that system. He's waiting for that system." That's how many people are on a waiting list right now to build. Yeah. And so I said, I'm trying. I got the rules and regs being heard soon, and we should be off to the races. But a lot of people are waiting on this system to be cleared and to realize building their home.
And that's the one thing, Liz, that I know really upsets you, because it's literally holding back people from, from developing on their birthright.
Exactly. And on another note, Senator, please move forward. There's a few things that need to be amended with the law. One of them is to reduce the capacity of the nitrate system so that the people could utilize a lower priced system. I think it had to do with something with the regs. That was number one.
Yeah, it was specific.
The specific, yeah, specifics with the type of system. And then number 2 is opening that up so other folks within, rather than the limitation of what the current law states. The current law states deeded maps, the parental subdivision. Now that we know and it's been proven that the system is really efficient and does treat water before it does go into our system, that we open that up for others to be able to build on quarter-acre parcels in the northern area or other areas that are not serviced by sewer systems. Those are the biggest limitations our people are encountering right now. There's no sewer, they're unable to build, so it's holding people back. So if we amend the law to include those areas, knowing that we have a reliable system, please move forward with it.
Certainly. We'll look at all things. Jason, when I sat down with the representatives from Guam Association of Realtors, I told them my goal was to prove that it works. And once we prove that it works and we got something in place that's absolutely something that the island needs, then we can have the energy behind us to move forward and expand. And so we will do that. I want to make sure that we get these rules passed and get underway, and then move forward to get it rolling out. But Jason, in a lot of other areas, and the people that I've talked to, and like Liz says, with different systems. A representative in North Carolina that has the same concept but a different system, but they generally actually use it on subdivision capacity because of the fact that the economies of scale. They actually have footprints of development where there's anywhere between 20, 30, sometimes 50, maybe 100 homes.
I was just about to ask, do these systems come in maybe like modular or multi-dwelling like formats and everything like that, where they could like facilitate maybe a cul-de-sac, if not an entire neighborhood, but could multiple households actually take use of this technology?
It certainly is. And yeah, go ahead. Gina?
Jason, when we were talking about this system, I think we're focusing on the idea that this system is important so people could build. But I think we also need to, I think for the people that oppose getting this, I mean, the law's in place, but the people that are holding it back, they really should be helping Senator Duenas move it forward, because this system is about eliminating the contaminants that are going into our environment. It is as much about that as it is helping people build. And yes, in a lot of areas in Japan and in the States, they're using systems like this, if not this particular one that's already available here. It is used for subdivisions. So absolutely, the answer is yes, and I'm sure Senator Duenas could add to that.
Okay, real quick though, it's interesting how we as consumers maybe now have a different set of decisions that we have to make when it comes to our homes than we did like 30, 40 years ago. Because before it was just like, okay, do you have your own washer and dryer? Do you have a generator? Do you have air conditioning? Is it split unit? Is it central? Now you have, should we get solar panels? And if so, what is the usable life of them? Do we have an electric vehicle? Do we have a charging station? Do we have, these nitrate systems and everything like that? I mean, it's kind of indicative of how our community has progressed, right?
Yeah.
I would hope.
Absolutely. Yes. Absolutely. I can tell you right now, even in my family, my growing family, our young people now, fortunate for us, have good jobs, at least two of our children that are ready to build soon. And one is definitely going to be using this system probably within the next 8 months to a year. And so,
they're going to be on you for that.
Pretty much 2 lots down from myself, who still has a traditional septic system. So the thing is she's going to have a better system than I even have, and she's going to have the ability to build and to use this system. So the thing is that it's a reality. It hits home. But I think we'll be remiss if we lose this opportunity. Jason, right now, and I know we'll get a healthy amen from Gina and from Liz. Right now, we can talk about labor, we can talk about materials, we can talk about interest rate. The biggest problem we have on Guam right now is inventory. You can get a drop in the interest rate. You can get a contractor that can maybe give you 225 a foot or 200 a foot. Good luck, but you can find them. And you can find a situation, whereby materials might at some point start to come down a little bit. But that will never change the fact that what's really driving the housing market and the cost right now is inventory. And people on Guam who are going to want a chance to stay here, one thing that might keep them here, because we're talking about out-migration, is the ability to use the small piece of land that they have to realize a cost of living benefit to them to build an affordable home so that they can possibly stay here. That's just the reality. And the only way to do that, we are not going to be able to fast track inventory going forward without having systems like this and opportunities for our people. And once the inventory starts to grow, and then things can start to become more manageable.
And I think the fact that you said that people can possibly stay here, the fact that you actually had to use the word possibly, which is what we do now, is kind of sad. I mean, that's what we're at right now. The whole, priced out of paradise thing that Liz and Gina have talked about a bunch of times. People that want to live here, this is the place of their grandmother's birth, and they have to leave for whatever reason.
Well, the second part of this equation, we're talking about the people who have their own land, and this will give them the opportunity to build on their land. But I want to also, Senator Duenas, I know we've spoken to you about this concept before, is making it easier. We need to start whining and dining developers, because let's be real about that. The last time big development occurred on Guam was after one of the typhoons in Kaiser. One of our governors went to Hawaii and wined and dined Kaiser and asked them to come and build 3,000 homes for the community. And that was not just a developer coming on the island and wanting to spend their money, their time. Doing business here is rather difficult. We need to start thinking along the idea of we need to wine and dine developers, encourage people to come and build homes, because these homes are going to be for our people who don't have the means or the ability or the resources like their own lots to go and build on their own property. We need to address the whole picture. And the other side of that coin is the people who don't have their own land family property to build on. They need a developer to come out here and want to build. And we need to address the issue with building permits. You know, I did my own building permit the last time, and it took me 8 months to get a building permit for a 1,600 square foot simple home that wasn't on the water, that I was just in the village of Talafofo sitting right there, and it took me 8 months to get my permit. And for developers, for you know, maybe just a contractor wants to build 5 to 10 houses, to wait 8 months to get a permit, it's ridiculous. I had another gentleman who's looking to build an apartment, and he just told me to go through GLUC. They've told him 1 to 2 years to go through that process. So then if he gets approved, he can actually start the process of the building permit process so he could build an apartment. He was telling me, Gina, by the time I'm done, I don't know if I still have the, you know, if I still old young enough to build. I mean, he's not that old, but that's how he feels, like it's so forever just to get permission to build apartments on his land.
Well, ladies,
And
so we are going to hold the senator.
address.
We are going to hold the senator to task because he is an elected official. But, you know, so we're going to ask him to use his voice at the public hearing on the 29th to overhear, you know, the public's concerns about this. We're going to ask him to use his voice to hopefully, you know, wine and dine and schmooze those developers. But we got to let him save his voice a little because he also has a very, very beautiful singing voice that he uses in mass. So, Senator, you got to sing for the Lord, too.
Absolutely. We don't do anything without our Lord.
Well,
There you go. Okay, so
thank you for joining us. We truly appreciate your time. We know you're busy, but you took the time to squeeze in the show to help send messages out to our community. Thank you.
Well,
and
you
again,
folks keep
Senator,
doing what.
really interesting, like press release that you put out, like beautifully written and everything like that. You know, like clearly this had been put from somebody from the class of 1992.
That's true. And it actually is true. But, you know, folks, keep doing what you're doing too. And it's not lost on me that there's bigger policy that has to be, done and enacted. So we'll take care of this, and I'll keep moving as long as the people want me to keep working for them.
Okay, and make sure to bring out those chairs because I'm sure there's going to be a packed house on the 29th for your public hearing, Senator. Thank you.
You got it. Thank you, team. Appreciate you.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Guam's auto appearance specialist, Elegant Reflections, has been providing the automotive industry with professional detailing and car care products at its highest quality, from complete detailing, full interior detailing, exterior detailing, headlamp restoration, hand washing, seat and carpet shampoo, engine degreasing, undercarriage cleaning, paint sealant, fabric protection, paint oxidation removal, and so much more. Visit us at our new location. Call 646-5555 for an appointment. Elegant Reflections, Guam's auto appearance specialist, over 20 years of experience. Now, for a limited time, get our largest pizza at our lowest price. Just $9.99 for our classic New York-style pizza. It's 30% larger than our large, and at only $9.99 for carryout. Don't wait. Order now at your Island Pizza Hut.
Weekly Renewal is brought to you by Calvo's Select Care.
Okay, so that I think most people might want to understand a little more clarity. So when you speak of energetically, emotionally, physically, we all hear the word holistic, right? Mm-hmm. The idea of, and that's why even this month being Mental Health Awareness Month, I get it, you know, we want to focus specifically on that, but share a little bit how that works out, how like our physical body is affected by our mental, emotional, energetics, and vice versa.
I love that question, and I will say it is never just one aspect. When I'm dealing with someone physically, there is never a situation where they're not experiencing something in their emotional and their mental, and vice versa, right? And this is why, honestly, and I have a lot of clients too that have done talk therapy for 20 years, and they're reaching a threshold where they're like, I've done this, but I can't fully move past this. And it's because the memories are in our fascia, in our body. So let me explain. So we have over 60,000 thoughts a day. And That's science, right? That's not even coming from me woo-woo, but that is 60,000 thoughts a day.
Right.
Majority of those thoughts are in our subconscious. That means we're not even aware of them.
Right.
Majority of those thoughts that are in our subconscious, 90% of those are disempowering. So we're only aware of the 10% that are in the forefront, but if 90% are disempowering. So if you imagine you have, like, let's say our cell phone. Well, when those thoughts in our subconscious are running, just like these apps, it's causing our body to break down, to have less energy, to have less capacity to go towards healing.
Yeah.
It's running just to survive. And so as an energetic body, it begins with our thought. And our thought, one thought, becomes 1,000 running in our subconscious. That 1,000 becomes an emotion. That emotion then becomes an action. Those actions then begin to define our entire reality. And so by the time it hits our reality and we're in scarcity, we have health problems, we're in toxic relationships, we're in a job. It begins with a thought.
Right.
Change your thoughts. Here's these affirmations. Because you could say, I want $1 million. But if you don't believe in every cell of your body that you deserve, you are deserving of wealth and freedom, that's not going to change the reality.
Right, and that's the key.
That's
it's like when you talk, it's quite, it sounds trite, but when they say thoughts become things, it's like, yes, however, it's not just about positive affirmations like you said, but so what is the easiest, how can people access that? How can you bring it from your thought to your feeling?
Memorial Day is a time to honor those who ensure our freedoms. It's also a time to hit the road, gather with family, and celebrate the American spirit. During the Declaration of Deals, drive a truck built with the strength, capability, and confidence America depends on. Get into a Ram 1500 with up to $4,000 cash allowance. And every Ram has a 10-year, 100,000-mile powertrain limited warranty. Or get into a Jeep Wrangler with up to $2,500 cash allowance. Visit Cars Plus Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram today.
Find Your Fit is brought to you by Sun Harlem, Serenity Wellness Spa, and Primal Plate.
Welcome back to another episode of Find Your Fit. I just got my food delivered from Primal Plate. Let's go check it out. Ooh, the food looks good, guys. Let's check this out. All right, guys, so today I ordered the sweet barbecue chicken, and I couldn't have that alone. I also had to have the sweet barbecue chicken wrap. And it's not just the food that I see. What I see, and what's very important for our bodies, is that there's protein, there's fats, and